Now for 10 part B, we are given cosine A minus B is equals to 2 cosine A plus B. So we are asked to express tangent A in terms of tangent B. Alright, so using the difference and the sum formula for cosine, so we'll just write down using the formula. So this is cosine A cosine B, so minus, so this will be plus sine A sine B. So 2 cosine A cosine B minus 2 sine A sine B. Next, we just need to shift around the terms. So similar terms, we group them together. So 3 sine A sine B equals to minus 1 here. So just cosine A cosine B. So in order to get tangent A, we need to bring over the cosine so that we can see that it's actually just sine A over cosine A, and then leaving the sine B aside first. So bring this term over. So sine A over cosine A times sine B equals to cosine B. Right? So one step at a time, this one will become tangent A. Sine B, we can bring it over, so it will become cosine B over sine B. Right, so we can write this as tangent A, bring this 3 over, so bringing this 3 over division, so it will become cosine B over 3 sine B. So it will be equals to, we can write this as 1 over 3. We can take out the fraction first, 1 over 3. Cosine over sine is actually cotangent. So if you want to change it back to tangent B, you just need to do the reciprocal. So 1 over 3, 1 over tangent B. And there you have 1 over 3 tangent B as the answer. Part C asks us to solve for y between 0 and 4. This equation cosecant 2y equals to 1.5037. Giving our answers in radians, correct to 2 decimal places. So it is important to note the range of this angle first, because we have 2y here, but our range over here we are given from between 0 and 4 for y only. So multiply this by 2 first to check. So that means my 2y should range from 0 to 8, because 4 times 2 gives us 8 radians. 0 times 2 is still 0. So my 2y angle must be between 0 and 8 radians. So okay, now we can start from the equation. Cosecant 2y is 1.5037. So my sine will just be the reciprocal. So the cosecant is the reciprocal function, trigonometric function for sine. So 1 over 1.5037. Right, so my angle 2y basic, that means the acute angle for this 2y. Acute angle meaning the first quadrant angle, right? Because all 4 quadrants ratios are related back to the first quadrant's acute angle. So the basic angle is just sine inverse this ratio. Now since this is already positive, so we just take the positive. We must always remember to take the positive, because in the first quadrant all ratios are positive. So rounding off to using 4SF, this will give us 0.7275 radians. Right, you can put a radian there. This is just angle. So based on this, we can find all angles for 2y first. Right, so slowly, one step at a time, before we divide it by 2 to find all angles between 0 and 4. So also note that the sign is a positive ratio, so giving us a clue that it must be from the first and second quadrant. So check all first and second quadrants from 0 to 8. Right, sorry, between 0 and 8. Okay, it's good to note that 8 is also about around 3 pi. Okay, because if taking the pi value as 3.14, so 3 pi would be around 9.42. So 3 pi also tells us that since pi is only 180 degrees, so we only move 1, because one round will be 2 pi, so we only move through 6 quadrants. 2 pi, 1 round, from 0 to 2 pi, 1 round, then another half round to 3 pi. And this is 3 pi. Okay, so the first and second quadrant answers, all my 2y would be the first quadrant 0.7275, second quadrant, which is 0 to pi, so second quadrant answer will be pi minus, so you can go back to the second quadrant by subtracting the basic angle, which is the acute angle, so pi minus 0.7275. Third quadrant is not what we want, so fourth quadrant is not what we want. So the next time we see it will be in the first quadrant again. It is after 1 round, so it's 2 pi plus the acute angle. And then finally we have a 3 pi, which is to get the second quadrant. So second quadrant answer 3 pi, because 2 pi another half round will give us a pi, 3 pi another pi, so 3 pi minus to get the second quadrant answer. Then each answer you just need to divide by 2 and you have this answers: 0.36375, 1.2070, 3.5053, and 4.3486. So rounding off your answer, giving the question to 2 decimal places. So all answers are in radian: 0.36 radians, 1.21, 3.51. Now we can reject this already, because based on question, this is not applicable because the angle for y is only between 0 and 4. This is already above 4. Okay, so we have to check this portion also from the question. So that gives us 3 answers for this question.